So we're back again to do, this time it's going to be, sorry, clear the bits of dust off here, another Lego set, and it's the one that I promised. So it's going to be a Frenzy set, but it's one of these juniors set, so it's juniors and friends mixed together. So it's kind of like this crossover box, if you think about it, because it's got the red and then it's got the purple at the bottom, so it's a bit hard to tell that it's a friend set unless you turn it over, in which case it's kind of obvious. But anyway, so the point with it being a juniors is that this car is quite easy to make. So it's quite a big box in comparison to the other sets I've done, but I don't think it's going to be that hard. And there's Mia again, so Mia's turning up a lot recently, all over the place. What's the best thing to cut this open with? The screwdriver. Okay. And which is the best side to go for? I do wish the days that you could just open the boxes real easy. But I do guess that people just complain that it's not so easy to put things back in to store them. Oh, here we go. The big piece. Look at that. Man, they've done a lot of work. So I've got paint on my fingers today. They've done a lot of work for you in making this base, haven't they? Look at that, that is huge. And they've even got these little grey bits that are sort of stuck in there, and they're not like stuck in like Lego, they've got like kind of hooks in there, not like with studs. So that's impressive. This is the biggest junior set I've ever got, and I've only ever got like I think 2 or 3, and they've all been really tiny ones, and I've usually just got them because they had cool minifigures. I think I've done one on this channel, but I can't quite remember if that's the case. But you do get quite a few pieces. Like, this is not like no pieces, but there's no silly stickers. So that's actually really cool, because there's a lot of things like there's that's no stickers. So that's a good thing, because you can't trust 4-year-olds to put stickers on things. But actually, to be honest, like when I was 4, I doubt that I would be able to do this without some serious parental supervision or assistance. So probably shouldn't give it away, but well, I don't think I was in any way spectacular at building Lego sets when I was a kid. I was just your standard kid. Okay. Feels like there's going to be 2 books there, but there's only 1. And we're going to move these up, because I think it works better. Oh, this is such a mess. If the book is down the bottom, so that I'm not always moving it out of the way. Oh, look at that. So you only had to open them one at a time, and then you get to do the things. So I probably should... Well, it had the numbers on the page. It's been such a long time since I've done an actual one where they've got numbered bags, that I completely didn't pay any attention to that. So that's okay. Yet another Mia for the supply of Mias. I think I just said that, didn't I? I have. That's boring. I didn't actually say that I have a supply of Mias. I just said that we were doing another Mia set. So they do get misplaced. Not by me, but by other people. Oh, I wish I'd actually got another one on the desk. I had, like, literally yesterday, I had a Mia on this desk, and we could have compared her outfits, but we can't. She's got kind of like a plaid thing going, so it's a little bit hipstery, but not really, because it's short sleeves. But that's okay. And she's got a lot of money today, so I guess we have to open up this as well. So we have to go all the way. We do get a bunny, and the bunny looks quite cute. And another red apple. Is that? Did we get a red apple? We got a red apple recently in a set, and was that? I think that was an Emma set, not a Mia set. Maybe it's just like a thing she does. I always worry if I say that. People who watch like the show and are really more up on Heart Lake City's hijinks will be able to say, of course it's her thing. It's everybody knows that it's her thing that she has a red apple. Which would be weird. Well, she does have red hair, kind of, and so you know you've got to get hair to match. Is that going to shuffle? Oh, it's all on the camera. Good. And so we're going to make a little. Oh, I wish I hadn't put them all together. You get a good range of flowers. That's for sure. I don't understand what this is. Why is there a flower in the top of the glass? It's a glass, right? It's like lemonade. So that's that. So maybe it will make sense when we finish it. And I got some more Lego today, I have to say, at good prices, very good prices. So there's going to be a number of Lego videos coming up, because there's a lot to get through. An awful lot, and I still haven't got into the cool like Technic set things that I really wanted to do. Well, they'll have to wait. And I've got a Lego Boost thing that I want to do that I got ages ago, and I haven't got around to doing it yet, because I'm quite keen on that kind of stuff as well. But you get so that's gonna take a while to build, but not as long as I think another set that I have will take. So there we go. This is another carrot, so there's 2 carrots. I quite like this idea of getting 2 carrots. I'm sure there was another set where you get a couple of carrots like this. There's one where someone's growing carrots in the ground, but I've forgotten exact details, so I'm going to move that to the side because you don't need to know. Oh, the plastic bag's still there. Where that is. Okay. So very unfortunate. I have managed to get a substantial amount of new Lego in recent times without spending a particularly significant amount of money, which is bad because I don't want any more. Well, I do want more, but I don't have anywhere to put it, and it's like, oh well, I need to stop finding all the bargains. So this is, it looks pink from my angle, but I've only got orange flowers, so I'm guessing it's actually orange, and I'm just confused by things. So I think it would have looked nicer with a pink flower. Actually, it kind of looks like there's a flower there. Is that showing up? It is. All right. Well, there's 2 oranges, so that's okay. And here we go. So with that, what was that thing for? I'm sure it will. Oh, it's for this. It's a swing. So she must be at the park. Well, of course, yes. So she's driven to the park in her cool van thing. What's a person who can drive a van driving to a park to sit on a swingy thing around it? What is this thing even called? A twirly whirly thing with their pet rabbit. This is a very strange way of doing things. Alright, so I'm not actually looking at this part here. I was just looking at this picture here and jumping straight into it, because it's not very hard to pick up what you are meant to do. But if only I had another friend for her. Wait, I do kind of have another friend. I've got bits and pieces of friends, but we're missing her hair, so she's going to have her hair again. So this is her friend with the mismatched body parts. So she's got the wrong colours. This is Andrea's body and probably Mia's head. But now they've got a buddy. It's like, oh, but they had a buddy. It was the rabbit the whole time. But whoa, that's actually kind of, I don't know why I find that kind of cool. I don't know. They lean back a bit. Is it going to go faster? That only works if you're actually sitting on a swing and you lean backwards and forwards. It's not going to work. They're going to go slower. Oh, they do kind of go slow. So what do they lean forward? Sorry, talk about getting distracted. Right. Well, how about they just stand up on it and then there we go. This is a dangerous way of using this thing. Oh, that was super dangerous. She's gone. Well, that's good. Now we can go back to having... Oh, hair fell off. I wish they were just better at keeping the hair on. When I mentioned this hair before, did I mention... I think I mentioned this, that I had this set when I was a kid. No, that goes okay. No one's flying off. Let's get to the next page. I had the set that I liked, and I mentioned this before on this channel, and I've still got the minifigures and probably most of the pieces. There was a small blacksmith set from the castle set. I think I looked it up, and I think it came out in 1983ish or so, or 4, or one of those years, you know. Oh, we're using the little white one again. Okay, I don't seem to have any. Oh, I do have a spare. And anyway, so the little minifigure, I put their little. It looks like this little black mask thing. It was a bit like this thing, like the astronaut's helmet, but not quite. It was more stylized, and it was like a blacksmith. I don't know. It looked like the guy looked like a blacksmith. All right, but the point was is that I could, for the life of me, never get it back off again. Like, it was stuck on really well. And it's still there to this day. Wherever I've stored it away, stored the little guy away, they still have their thing on. And the problem is that their head's slightly out, and so that's not quite lined up properly. And so I never could fix that. But that was still my favourite minifigure when I was a kid. So there's 3 strawberries are going into this thing. So this must be strawberry juice, and the other one is the lemon juice. But I feel like I should have mentioned that was like an important part. I mean, I definitely remember mentioning the blacksmith set, but I felt like I would have also have mentioned the fact that the hat thing was stuck on, and I couldn't get it off. But that's like, obviously back in the day they made hair a little bit too, like, how do these things? I know these fall off quite easily. Like, I'm sure they were quite, like, I definitely think when I was a kid, they would get stuck a lot easier than this, and so they must have changed the clutch power over the years intentionally, I think, as they're just kind of picking. But I personally think they should have upped it a bit, or not upped it, but they should have kept it a little bit closer to what they originally had, because the hair pieces and the hats just fall off way too easy these days. Having said that, this guy's hat hasn't fallen. This one's stuck on quite well. It's not perfect, but it's got a reasonable amount of stick. So sometimes they do, when they have really, really funny looking head things. Got to tidy up. I've got too many random minifigures sitting on the desk at the moment. I've done this wrong. Okay, there's 2 of these. So let's put this one in there. I'm just checking that I'm actually recording. I'm always worried that I've got halfway through and I haven't actually pressed record on the camera. And I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to be really bitterly disappointed one day when I do find out that I've not done the whole thing and I haven't been recording anything. Right, and so we've got 2 of these little pink cups. I don't think I've ever had, well, I must have had a pink cup at some point. Don't really like these cups very much because they do make sense for a minifigure, but they look a bit rubbish. I was going to say atrocious, but I'm not entirely sure I'll say it correctly, so I'm not going to say that word. It doesn't look atrocious anyhow. It looks fine. It just doesn't look. It just looks a bit talky. All right. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for this little leafy thing. And nope, here it is. So I don't know if I've even had it. I mean, I have, haven't I? Because I had it in a recent set, and I made a comment about this. I think I have. It must have been like in Mia's bedroom with the weird skateboard thing. But they're nice. But they're not quite that nice, because they look a bit odd. They go up, and then I guess that's how leaves go. But I kind of prefer the droopy ones. All right, there. So we've done that whole thing, and now we're all set, because everything that's left is, so that can go there. That drink can go into the thing, which seems odd. And everything else is for the car. Look, I've already done half of it, just like that. It was magic. I have to say, like, these sets, they don't seem particularly easier than, like, say, a standard non-junior set, apart from the bases for the cars. It's like, there's still a lot of pieces around here, right? And some of them are quite fiddly, and, you know, look at that. So you've got to put this and this and this together. It's just like, well, we're just going to give you a normal set, but we're going to make the bases really easy. And I don't really think that bases in cars are that hard. So it is a strange thing. I mean, I guess they do, like, what's the term? Focus groups with 4-year-olds, because it says 4+ on the box. And 4-year-olds are like, yes, well, we find most of the Lego quite easy, but we do find the bases on the cars to be somewhat problematic. And it would be awfully nice if you could make them a little bit simpler by making just one giant block. And they're like, well, that makes sense. And so they went off and they did that. And so that's what you get with focus groups. And surprisingly articulate 4-year-olds. Though some of them can be, I am sure. Certainly some 5-year-olds can be quite articulate. It's okay if you're 5 and you're watching this and you don't know what the word articulate means. That's all good. Okay. Where is this piece? So this is where she's going to... I don't understand how this is working. So that goes there. It looks like a really strange inside of a car. But it is like, it's quite wide. It's 6 wide. So I'm going to have a little drink. With a fizzy drink, which you can actually kind of hear the bubbles. I don't know if that's going to come up on the camera. And if it will be as distracting as a dog barking in the background. Hey look, it's an old school Lego seat. So maybe that goes there. It's like people might think, why is that an old school Lego seat? Because it's been around for such a long time. Just like the steering wheels. Like if you basically started off and you gave someone, if you went back in time to the 80s and you were starting to do some Lego and you were just started with these pieces here, the people that were around you would not think you were a time traveler from the future, not with these pieces. They would be like, no, that seems pretty legit and spot on and with the times and everything. It's not anachronistic. I've lost track of what the word is. But if you start putting on anything else, then they're probably going to be a little bit... I'm not even sure in the 80s we had any smooth pieces. We might have. But it was a crazy time back then. A crazy, crazy time. And we're going to put these things. We certainly have these ones. so far we're doing good. But I have to say, with the cars that I had when I was a kid, they did have these kind of cool big bases. That did a lot of the work. So I think over the years they've gone through a period where the car bases are actually slightly more involved to be made. And they started off being reasonably easy. So this is kind of returning to these days, but probably overshooting a bit and going a little bit too simple. Having said that, I didn't have any van sets when I was a kid, so I wasn't going around making large vehicles. It was just the little tiny ones, which were always kind of cute. They were always like one-seater cars with a little tiny roofs that you could, and the smaller version of these. So I had these when I was a kid, but I used to have ones that they were only the 4 long ones, the 4 wide ones, and I was like, they were like coveted pieces. They were like, oh, I must have these pieces. I got to look after those ones. Those ones I care about, because you can't really do much when you're a kid and you want to make cars if you don't have a windscreen. Right. So, and we certainly didn't have this piece here. This piece is not an 80s piece, and neither are those pieces, I don't think. And what do I feel like there should be a piece. Like, shouldn't there be a piece sitting in the bottom? Is this what kids? They've decided that 4-year-olds just can't handle that extra piece and it's fine without it. Because you do think that they would normally do that. So they certainly don't think you can possibly put stickers on at 4 years old. But look at this, you get the kind of nice printed look at that. So it's $95. She's only got $100. She's gone and lost $100. Where did I put $100? Oh no, she's going to be so angry when she finds out. Well, the steering wheel, which goes here, which looks like it's going to be too far away for her arms, but she's got quite long arms. So, and then we've got to put the windscreen shieldy thing on, and over there, and these things I don't know if they were from the 80s, or they were probably 90s things. You just had to put two of that size together. None of this coming all doubled up. But that makes sense for a junior set, right? Because, alright, what am I doing? Yeah, that makes sense for a junior set, because... And then they go, well, what's the point? Because then the next step is putting 2 of these things together. So, if you had the skills to do this, you had the skills to do that. So... But I guess you have nice little handy hold things that you can grip better when you have tiny fingers. So I suppose. Right. That's probably why I like that Duplo fake Lego set. This thing over here. It feels like my fingers are so tiny. And not normal size. So this thing here. So what's on the picture? Oh, it's a fruit thing. So are they like they're a greengrocer So wait, okay. So does she drive this thing? She must drive this thing. So that's her job. And yet she still finds time to go to the playground and sit on the roundabout thing. The what is it called? I forgot. The merry-go-round. It's not a merry-go-round because there's no horses and it's not like up and down and round in circles type thing. What's the other word for a merry-go-round? Someone from another country will remember. Carousel. I can't say that word. I don't think it's one of those words, you know, I've never ever said it out loud. And so when I say it out loud, I'm like, oh, I have no idea if I'm saying that right. Right, what's the time? We've got 8 minutes left. Oh my goodness, this is babbling right here. It's been a very wordy video. Which reminds me, there were words today in this puzzle thing that I keep doing. And I forgot to look up what they were. Because sometimes they come up with words and like, I don't know what that word is. And then I was got like, there was like this word, it was like, read something, and then it was read just. And I'm like, what does read just mean? What's a read just when it's at home? I have to look that one up. But it's actually readjust. And you're like, oh, okay, whoops. So the next time you see the word readjust, if for some bizarre reason you do, please read it as read just, and then that will make a lot more sense in life, and you won't get. But there's $100, so we're not going to have like an angry moment where Mia's going to be like, is it Mia or Mia? It's Mia. Mia's going to be like, what do you do with my $100, eh? Well, we had an accident. It is gone. But we don't need money. Money just brings in happiness, which is not true. It brings food and sustenance and an ability to do things. But, alright, and of course, she's got no vegetables. Well, she's got a couple of, like if she's selling these things, she's not really got a lot going in the shop, has she? She's got some cherries. You can't have a mobile green grocery shop thing and not have anything but cherries in it. Alright, so I feel like there should be a bigger roof here. We're putting on the wheels. But is there any roof yet? Or is that in the box? Okay, let's just put the wheels on. Because I'm pretty sure everything's there. One wheel. Got to be fast because we've only got 6 minutes. This is not meant to take this long. Alright. So if this one takes this long, and I just chose this one tonight because it was pretty straightforward. Obviously the other sets which I've got recently, which are bigger than this one, they're going to have to be 2-putters. Or I could just stop babbling and just do the whole thing. Or I could just give in and do one of those really, you know... oh, look, and the little heart thing. Oh my goodness, look here, so many cool printed things in this one. It's just best to go juniors the whole way. So... yes, when I go to the shop, I always say to the person at the checkout, even though it's I use self-service machines to buy this one, that you're always like, yes, I am a 4-year-old. I'm not just buying this for the printed parts. Okay, so that goes there. There should be a piece here. What have we done that's not... why is there no roof? Okay, and this one is going to go here. Well, that makes sense. Look at that. That's nice. That fits on really well. And then this cool flag thing here. Look at that printout. So they're selling... oh, they're selling smoothies. So it's a smoothie shop, which makes sense. Then they don't have to have so much stock other than cherries. And they've got to have their loudspeaker system. So that's what these things are for. I've got 4 minutes left. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get this finished. What am I stressing out for? I just don't want to actually finish at 29 minutes. I wanted this to be a bit quick. Well, that looks a bit better. There's no roof. It's strange having a van with no roof. I guess she folds this thing back when it rains. Oh, and the fruit bowl, which we had from previous times, which is supposed to have cherries in it, apparently. So there's not enough. You get 3, counting the spare. But, oh no, they do all fit. So that one fits there. So that's going to be that. She's just going to be leaving her $100 sitting on the what is this thing? The counter. And there's a pre-made smoothie. So, oh, this is like the froth from the smoothie. So it's smoothie froth. So she puts cream or something on the top. I don't eat smoothies, so I'm not going to be able to make any clever comments about that. So there we go. There's that. So she's not actually buying it from. She can't be. Like, why would you have a set where she doesn't actually drive? She must drive it. Well, I still think it's a bit odd. Like, I guess it makes sense when you're 4 years old and you want to play the thing that she's actually sitting on a roundy thing, merry-go-round, with a rabbit, and she drives truck that sells smoothies. That makes sense when you're 4. Like, I'm absolutely positive of that. So what's this piece for? Oh no, where was this supposed to go? There's a little bit of orange sticking out the back there, so maybe it went out the back. Oh, it goes there, alright. Like that. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. And we've got a leftover one of those, and that can just sit over there. Oh, that's pretty clever, right? That is clever. And then another flower can just sit there. So I'm not too sure what this is. This is part of the playground, and they just haven't cleaned it for a while, and it's got these little things growing out of it. I think so. It's like, is it part of the playground? Is it's in very, very poor repair, and probably has little tiny nails in it. Right, so there we go. So this is all the bits and pieces together. We can actually read this. So she does work. How much time we got? 2 minutes. She does work in the van. This is her like means of getting income, even though she carelessly leaves her $100 notes sitting on the counter for someone to come along while she's out playing with her rabbit. It's like, seriously, Mia. The rabbit also drinks the smoothies. This is one cool rabbit. They're like, I have some carrots. I bet you that doesn't even look like it's a carrot smoothie. It's like it's a strawberry smoothie. I don't know if you're supposed to feed rabbits strawberries. I don't think you're supposed to feed them carrots too much either. For that one time, I had a rabbit for 3 days, and they were a lot of work. And it was like, oh yeah, I need to find this rabbit a new home. So there we go. That was that. So I never got any of these sets. So that's not the set that we got here. Oh, that's quite nice. So that's that set there. 4 to 7. So that's a bit cutting it. You could get enjoyment out of this as an 8-year-old. Like that's not fair. And those do look quite complicated, don't they? That tree certainly does. That tree's gonna take you a while. I don't know about that one. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some 8-year-olds could have done that one. So anyway, thanks for watching. That was Mia's fun with smoothies. So she has like a bedroom with a skateboard in it and a tree, and she goes out in her smoothie truck selling smoothies, and then in her spare time having roundabout times with a rabbit. So, did she have a rabbit with a bedroom? I can't remember. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's almost 29 minutes. It's only 28 minutes and a bit. So, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.